Hey guys, welcome back to another show and tell. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can do speech-to-speech with a language model in between and how you can add that to your Python projects. So let's jump straight in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me just start this up using make run. I'll give you a quick demo first and then we can go through how that works. So we can see it's listening to a wake word, and as I'm talking, nothing's triggering it. But if I say the wake word, hey R2, what is the capital of Japan?
Japan's capital city is Tokyo, also known as Kyoto.
There we go. So what's happened here is it listened for the wake word. I'm not going to say it because it's going to trigger it again. And then once that wake word has been detected, it will start listening for any audio after that. And then when it detects a period of silence, it stops recording. And then what it does is it transcribes the audio that it heard, and it tells you that was a question that I asked. And then what it does is it sends that into Ollama as a prompt. And then Ollama gives you the response, and then it just speaks back the response. Okay, let's dig into it and I'll show you how this works. So the first thing we need to do is to set up the wake word. So if you head over to picovoice.ai and create an account, it's free to create an account, and as a free user you can create one wake word. So if you do that and then go over to the Porcupine service, you'll see this page. So choose your language that you want to use, and then you need to enter in your wake word. So in my case, I'm using hey R2. It doesn't let you use numbers, so I had to use R and then TWO. But you can test it here as well if you want to. So when you're happy with your wake word, choose the platform you want to download to. I'm using Mac, but I will eventually delete that, come back and create one for Linux. And as you can see, I've already downloaded my one of one, so I can't do that. But you should be able to hit that and get the PPN file. Okay, so go and add that PPN file into your workspace. You'll also need the Porcupine access key. You can get that from the Picovoice website as well. If you just click on your profile, you should be able to see the access key. So let's just have a quick step through the code. I won't go through every line. I'll just point out the sort of key things that are happening. I will put the code in the description down below, so if you want to go through every line and see exactly what it's doing, then feel free to do so. So we come into the entry point, and there's a bit of sort of setup here that happens, but the first thing we're interested in is this loop here. So this is just going to keep running, and what it's doing is it's taken the audio stream and it's passing that in small sections into the Porcupine SDK, and it's just waiting until Porcupine detects that wake word from the PPM file. When that does happen, you'll notice that there's a log, and then it breaks out of this while true loop. And you'll see here that the first thing we do after that is we close the audio stream. Now there's a bit of contention because you've got the Porcupine process and also the OpenAI Whisper process that are both wanting to use the microphone audio stream, and you can't use both at the same time. If you try and do that, you'll get errors when you run the application. So what we do is we keep the stream open whilst we're listening for the wake word. When we've detected the wake word, we close that stream quickly, and then we let the OpenAI stream get access to the audio. And then when that's finished, we would obviously close that and then reopen the Porcupine so it can listen again for the next command. So what we do is, after that, we capture the audio until it hits a quiet period, and then at that point it will try and transcribe all of that audio. So this is using the OpenAI Whisper SDK, and that's trying to decode the audio, and then you'll get a text from that audio. So when we've got the text, we print out "you said blah blah blah," and then we go send to Ollama. So I've got Ollama running locally in a Docker with a port exposed, and then you can hit that API that they expose. I'm using the tiny llama model. I would recommend using the tiny llama model if you're going to do any of this speech stuff, because the responses are very concise. If you use some of the other models like Phi, for example, the responses you get are just paragraphs and paragraphs of text. And when you're doing two-way speech, you don't really want that. You just want to ask a question, get an answer, next question, answer, and so on. When we get the response from Ollama, we just echo out what we saw, and then we pass that response into Speak, and then Speak just takes that and passes it through the text-to-speech engine. So all of this is running locally. So the Porcupine stuff is running locally, the OpenAI Whisper transcribing is running locally, the Ollama is running locally, and even the text-to-speech engine is running locally. So this works really great if you're into robotics like I am. So I'm planning to add this to my little robot that I'm building. So that way, when it's driving around the house, I can just say, hey, R2, and then ask it a question, and maybe it will give me a response. But in Python, you can add this to other projects if you need to. So if you're doing anything with AI agents, perhaps, if you're using Strands or Google's ADK, then you could use this if you want to use speech rather than a text prompt. They might already have that built into their SDKs, but yeah, you could use this if you really wanted to. So I hope that was useful. I had fun building this over a couple of hours on an evening. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, give us some engagement down below. That helps the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.